The most popular fixes for losing trades have one thing in common. They rank dead last. But the fixes that actually save trading careers are free, take 30 minutes, and look like homework. I personally lost 92% of my account in my first 3 months doing everything the exciting way. The change that saved my trading cost nothing, and it starts with the 2 fixes sitting at the very bottom of this ranking. If you search how to fix losing trades, the top results most likely point toward a new indicator or a new course. Both sit at the very bottom of this ranking. In 1983, a trader named Richard Dennis made a bet that he could teach complete beginners to trade using rules that fit on a few pages. No special indicators and no expensive training beyond the rules themselves. He recruited a blackjack player, a pianist, a game designer, and others with no trading experience. Then let them trade with real money. Over 5 years, those beginners generated over $175 million in profits. But some of the group lost money, and the ones who failed had one thing in common. They thought the rules were too simple. There has to be more to this. So they started adding their own ideas on top. Your chart probably has more indicators on it right now than that entire rule book. Adding indicators feels like progress because you are doing something, and buying a new course feels the same way because you are spending money. But doing and spending are not the same as fixing. I call this the consumption trap. The more trading content you consume without changing how you execute, the more conflicting signals pile up in your head. And conflicting signals create hesitation, not clarity. Every indicator subscription is revenue for the company selling it, and they have no reason to tell you that the chart was enough on its own. I hardly use any indicators on my charts, and my decisions got simpler the day I removed them. The fix was never more information. So the consumption trap explains the bottom of this ranking. But the middle tier is worse in some ways because these fixes actually sound reasonable. Switching your trading strategy after a losing streak feels rational, and reading a trading psychology book after an emotional blow-up feels mature. Both of these rank barely above the bottom of this list. In 2008, the World Health Organization tested something almost embarrassingly simple across 8 hospitals in 8 countries. They gave surgical teams a 19-item checklist. Wash your hands, confirm the patient's name, and count the instruments before closing. The items were so basic that experienced surgeons pushed back. I don't need a piece of paper telling me what I already know. But the results came in and deaths dropped by 47%, with complications falling by more than a third. The surgeons already knew everything on that list. A free, boring piece of paper just forced them to execute it consistently every single time. The surgeons who resisted the checklist the hardest were the ones with the highest complication rates. Your losing streak is probably a consistency problem wearing a strategy-shaped disguise. Fixes that feel exciting rank lowest because they add complexity, and fixes that feel boring rank highest because they remove it. I call this the fix inversion. Switching strategies feels like a fresh start, but you need at least 30 trades before you know whether a strategy works or your results are just random noise. Trading psychology books feel productive, but trading psychology only matters after you have a proven trading edge. Edge always comes first. I need to fix my mindset. That's what most traders tell themselves when their real problem is they've never proved their strategy works on paper. So every trade comes with that uncertainty, and no amount of mindset work can remove it. The middle of this ranking is full of fixes that look like medicine but act like painkillers. They treat the symptom while the cause keeps bleeding. You can see the fix inversion now. The causes, the indicators, the strategy switches. You can point to exactly where they sit in this ranking and why. Most traders can see it, and they still reach for the exciting fix instead. Recognizing the consumption trap does not tell you which version of it is draining your account, and misdiagnosing it costs another month of losses. It could be a confidence leak, a risk management blind spot, or an execution habit you can't see from inside it. The free 3-minute quiz in the description below identifies your specific leak before you waste that time. It's called Why Am I Still Losing Money Trading? Get your diagnosis today with the link in the description below. Now we get to the 2 fixes sitting at the very top of this ranking. The 2 fixes at the top of this ranking cost nothing, and they take less than 30 minutes. And they are the ones traders skip because they look like homework. For my first 8 years of trading, I was taught to hate backtesting. The reason was hindsight bias, and it sounded convincing enough that I never questioned it. I traded live, took my losses, adjusted the things when they felt wrong, and repeated the cycle year after year. Always one adjustment away from getting it right. 8 years of trusting my gut instead of testing it. When I finally sat down and tested my own strategies against historical data, I found flaws that I had been paying for with real money for years. Strategies that I believed in did not survive the spreadsheet. Before I sat down, I told myself, I already know what this will show. And right behind it, if the numbers prove what I've been avoiding. The data does not care what you believe. That one exercise revealed more about my trading edge than years of life experience had. And the simplicity was the worst part. An exercise that easy had been sitting there for 8 years while I convinced myself it was beneath me. The 2 career-saving fixes at the top of this ranking are: number 1, a trading journal. Start with a journal because you can't fix what you haven't measured. Tracking your trades is the only honest way to know which trading mistakes are actually costing you money. I tracked every single trade. No tracking means no improvement, and I refuse to guess when the data is right there. The second fix is a fixed risk rule, because the maths changes everything. At 5% risk per trade, a 10-trade losing streak halves your account and you need 100% gain just to recover. But at 1% risk, that same streak barely dents it. Both are free. Take under 30 minutes and look like homework. And that's exactly why traders skip them. I call this the homework edge. After I did this, my trading sessions became quiet. 30 minutes, a checklist, and a journal entry. Then I closed the laptop and the rest of the evening was mine. There is no anxiety because the rules don't change between sessions. The boring work is the trading edge. The traders who survive are the ones willing to do what nobody films a course about. And right now, you can feel the resistance. The part of you that agrees with this entire ranking but won't open a trading journal tonight. So watch this video next, where I break down the 5 specific rules that make the boring work automatic so that you don't need willpower to do it. See you in that video.